Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. As the war in Ukraine proceeds, Russia has launched a missile attack on Ukraine's key grain exporting port of Odessa only hours after signing an international agreement to allow for the safe transport of grain and other food necessary to alleviate the global food crisis. The attack on Odessa appeared to violate the terms of the United Nations agreement signed by Russia and Ukraine in Istanbul last Friday, which stipulated that both countries would refrain from attacking port facilities or civilian ships used for grain transport. Ukrainian officials said at least 2 Russian-caliber cruise missiles hit Odessa, the only major Ukrainian port resisting Russian occupation, damaging infrastructure at the site. Ukrainian Foreign Ministry spokesman Oleg Nikolenko said in a statement, quote, "We urge the UN and Turkey to ensure Russia's compliance with its obligations to provide a safe corridor for the grain exports," end quote. On Saturday, the World Health Organization said the monkeypox outbreak has expanded to more than 70 countries and now qualifies as a global emergency. WHO officials said in a statement, quote, "In short, we have an outbreak that has spread around the world rapidly through new modes of transmission about which we understand too little and which meets the criteria in the international health regulations," end quote. Although monkeypox has been established in parts of Central and West Africa for decades, it was not known to spark large outbreaks beyond the continent or to spread widely among people until May, when authorities detected dozens of epidemics in Europe, North America, and elsewhere. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, more than 16,000 cases of monkeypox have been reported in 74 countries since May. According to the latest data from the Massachusetts DPH, Braintree's positive COVID-19 test rate is now at 9.45%, an increase over the previous week. The average daily case rate was 19.7, and there were 1,259 tests administered in the last 2 weeks. The number of COVID cases has started to rise in the past week across a number of South Shore communities, according to the same report. The rise in cases comes amid concerns about a new COVID-19 variant, BA5, which is the most infectious yet, and it's believed to account for more than half of the nation's cases. The latest state vaccine report showed the number of fully vaccinated residents rose to more than 5.42 million people. Booster doses were given to about 3.15 million residents. The state is still monitoring and reporting health trends on a weekly basis. On July 21st, newly released metrics show that over 135,000 molecular tests were conducted and 10,250 new positive cases were reported in the last week. As of July 19th, 189 people are hospitalized in Massachusetts and 52 are in the ICU. 42 new deaths were also reported in the last 7 days. The town of Braintree also continues to monitor COVID data from the state. In the last week, the town hall hasn't reported any new positive cases. The town hall website currently shows a total of 10,665 positive cases since the start of the pandemic. There have been no new fatalities reported in 3 months, keeping Braintree's total deaths at 137. Thank you for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
The COVID-19 vaccine doesn't contain the virus, so you can't get COVID from the shot. You may experience things like muscle aches, fever, or tiredness, but these are most likely signs that your body is building immunity to protect against the virus. Learn more.
Welcome back. During Monday night's school committee meeting, School Superintendent Jim Lee briefed the committee on the security improvement plans for Braintree's school buildings. Although Lee could not discuss specifics, he provided a broad overview of the plans, which include additional cameras, more controls on exterior doors, and sensors to alert officials when an exterior door is left open for a long period of time. Some of the priorities were chosen by a task force made up of school administrators, teachers, police, parents, and high school students. These priorities come from a long list of recommendations made in an outside security audit of the school buildings by Good Harbor Techmark of Norwell. Good Harbor Techmark audited 13 school buildings during April school vacation and issued a 545-page report, which made 179 recommendations for security improvements with an estimated cost of $2.5 million. Lee said the schools are determining the cost of the proposals. A parking lot expansion for the Department of Elder Affairs building has eliminated much of Pennamon Park, leaving a playground, a basketball court, and a paved walking trail around the perimeter. Those in the neighborhood say they're upset by the loss of one of the only public open spaces in the area and have banded together to form the Pennamon Park Neighborhood Association. About 36 residents met with District 2 Town Councilor Joseph Reynolds at the park last week to question the need for 58 new parking spaces at the senior center that they say aren't even being used. Sharmila Biswa, the town's Elder Affairs Director, said she had been seeking to have the parking lot expanded for 6 years. She said when the original lot was full, some seniors were parking on busy Cleveland Avenue, on nearby side streets, and others were even parking on the park's grass. Mayor Kokora said in an interview that no work in the parking lot would be done until next spring, when money for related stormwater work becomes available. Kokora said, quote, "We're going to see if we can enhance the playground, but the goal is to finish the parking lot project," end quote. The Braintree Town Council approved Town Clerk James Casey's early voting schedule for the September 6th state primary election at its Tuesday night meeting. Braintree voters will now be able to cast their ballots in person from August 27th to September 2nd in the Cahill Auditorium of the Braintree Town Hall. For early voters, hours will be Saturday, August 27th and Sunday, August 28th from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. During the week between August 29th and September 2nd, early voting hours follow suit with the Town Hall's normal operating hours. Voters will be able to go to vote between 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, from 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Tuesday, or from 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. on that Friday. For more information, visit braintreema.gov. The Sunset Lake Concert Series are back in full swing, taking place every Tuesday night from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the lake's Thomas and Pamela Whalen Gazebo. The concerts, which are sponsored by Mayor Charles Kokoris and the Braintree Electric Light Department, so far have had Curris Fancy playing some Irish and folk music, Wolfpack with some popular pop, rock, and country covers, Gainesville Road with some fan favorite covers including Footloose, which had the crowd break out and dance, the popular Beatle tribute band Forever Fab, and just last Tuesday, Westwood Swing Band performed some classic swing and jazz music. If you missed these concerts or want to watch again, you can find it on BCAM TV's public channel, Comcast Channel 9, and Verizon Channel 28, or you can catch it on youtube.com/BCAMTV. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
Protect yourself from mosquito and tick bites. Use an EPA-approved repellent anytime you're outdoors. Spray it on your hands first, then spread it on your face, neck, arms, and legs. Learn more at mass.gov/mosquitoes and ticks.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. According to AAA, gas prices continued to fall this past week, with the average price for a gallon of gas in Massachusetts being $4.63, 11 cents lower than last week. Mary McGuire, AAA Northeast Director of Public and Government Affairs, said in a statement, quote, "Global economic news is pushing oil prices lower, and less expensive oil leads to lower pump prices. And here at home, people are fueling up less, despite this being the height of the traditional summer driving season. These two key factors are behind the recent drop in pump prices," end quote. The cost per barrel of oil is in the mid-90s, which is down from $110 just 2 weeks ago. Gas prices in the U.S. have dropped for 30 consecutive days as of July 15th, But this news comes after increased inflation in the U.S. during the month of June, reaching higher than it has in 40 years. An Mbta Orange Line train caught fire last Thursday morning on the bridge over the Mystic River in Somerville. Panic caused some passengers to kick out the windows in an effort to escape, while other passengers climbed out of a window and jumped onto the tracks. One person even jumped off the bridge into the river below. According to the Mbta, one of the trains caught fire just around 6:45 a.m. as it was approaching Assembly Station, producing heavy smoke from the front of the train as it stopped on Dana Bridge. The woman who jumped from the bridge declined medical attention, and there were no other injuries to report. The Federal Transit Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board have been notified of the incident. The FTA's inspection back in May found that the Mbta's Operations Control Center is not appropriately staffed, thus creating an increased safety risk. The cause of the fire remains under investigation, and the Mbta track and power departments are inspecting the infrastructure. In other Mbta news, on Wednesday, the Mbta said shuttle buses will replace Red Line trains between the JFK UMass station and Braintree from August 1st through the 4th and August 8th through the 11th, while work is being done on the tracks. 6 stations will be affected by the closures between 9 p.m. and the end of the service. Shuttles will stop at all of those stations. General Manager Steve Poftak said in a statement, quote, "As the Mbta continues to work with the FTA on safety enhancements, the track and maintenance work to take place during these evening Red Line diversions will continue to allow the T to build a better and safer system for all of its riders and employees." End quote. Just 2 days prior, a runaway train rolled onto the tracks from Braintree's rail yard, causing delays on the Red Line. Safety issues such as this have plagued the Mbta in recent weeks, causing calls for change to grow. On Tuesday, July 19th, 4 juveniles were arrested in connection to the February murder of 17-year-old Weymouth High School senior Nathan Paul in Quincy. Prosecutors said the youths in question are accused of stealing from Paul and using counterfeit money in the theft. One of the juveniles is also facing a charge of accessory to murder after the fact. 18-year-olds Javon Harris and Keneal Diaz Romero are set to be charged for murder, larceny from a person, possession of a counterfeit bill, and conspiracy to commit larceny. Harris was arrested in late February and had entered a not guilty plea at his Quincy District Court arraignment back in March and has been held without bail since. According to Norfolk District Attorney Michael W. Morrissey, Diaz-Romero is believed to be on the loose outside of Massachusetts. The closed juvenile arraignments are expected to happen Tuesday in Quincy District Court. Its iconic and massive chandelier has been a famed landmark along Route 128 for decades. But now, Lombardo's in Randolph is closing its doors after hosting countless community Thanksgiving dinners, weddings, proms, and much more. The Lombardo family is waving goodbye to its flagship venue in Randolph as the family company announced last Thursday that the 71,500 square foot event space and home of Vincent's nightclub will be sold to Boston-based Core Investments, a real estate investment and development company. The Lombardo family has been in business for nearly 100 years, first opening at Liberty Market in East Boston in 1927 and opening its first function facility there in 1963. The Lombardos in Randolph opened on Billings Street in 1983 and has since been estimated to have 2 million to 3 million guests who have dined, danced, and celebrated events in that facility over the decades. Lombardo's is expected to close in September of 2023. For cheesecake lovers, be sure to make room on July 30th to celebrate National Cheesecake Day. For those locally, the Cheesecake Factory in Braintree is kicking off their celebration in a super sweet way by introducing a new cheesecake flavor, classic Basque Cheesecake. The Cheesecake Factory has also pledged to make a $1 donation to Feeding America for every slice of cheesecake sold on National Cheesecake Day. The company will also donate 25 cents to the organization for every slice of classic Basque cheesecake now through July 29, 2023. Thank you for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment.
Mosquitoes are out. Protect yourself from mosquito bites and the illnesses they can cause, like Triple E and West Nile virus. When outdoors, use an EPA-approved repellent and wear protective clothing. Learn more at mass.gov/mosquitoes and ticks.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now here's some new binge-worthy show recommendations. First up is The Bear, starring Jeremy Allen White, who is best known for his role as Lip in Shameless. The Bear tells the story of a young chef, Carmi, coming back home to Chicago to run his brother's sandwich shop as he recently died by suicide. Carmi must balance the realities of small business ownership, his stubborn kitchen staff, and his strained familial relationships, all the while dealing with the impact of his brother's death. As Carmi fights to transform both the shop and himself, he works alongside a rough-around-the-edges kitchen crew that ultimately reveals itself as his chosen family. You can watch Season 1 of The Bear on Hulu. Next in entertainment, Loot, starring Maya Rudolph as Molly Novak, who, after divorcing her husband of 20 years, must figure out what to do with her $87 billion settlement. She decides to re-engage with her charitable foundation and reconnect with the real world. As she does so, she begins finding herself along the way. You can watch Season 1 of Loot on Apple TV. And finally, Melissa McCarthy and Ben Falcon are collaborating once again to produce and star in an 8-episode series titled God's Favorite Idiot. Clark, played by Falcon, is an average, somewhat boring man working as tech support who, one day after getting struck by lightning, finds himself suddenly glowing. His co-worker, Emily, played by McCarthy, and a ragtag group of friends believe that this may somehow be related to God. Their fears are confirmed when an angel tells Clark that he is to be God's messenger and must prevent the apocalypse from happening. You can watch God's Favorite Idiot on Netflix. That'll do it for news today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.